behind the billions.
When you walk into a luxury boutique, what do you see? You see elegance, tradition, and centuries of European craftsmanship. You see the beautiful legacy of brands like Louis Vuitton, Dior, Tiffany, and Givenchy. You are meant to believe these are independent historic houses. You are sold the illusion of passionate artisans who care only about art and perfection. But behind the silk dresses and the diamond necklaces lies a brutal corporate monopoly. Almost every major luxury brand you know is controlled by one single man. His name is Bernard Arnault. He is frequently the richest man on the entire planet. But in the ruthless arena of global finance, they do not call him an artist. They call him the wolf in Cashmere. Today, we will expose the dark, uncensored history of the LVMH empire. We will reveal how one calculating businessman used hostile takeovers to swallow the luxury world. To understand his ruthlessness, we must travel back to 1984. Arnault was a young real estate developer who knew absolutely nothing about fashion, but he possessed a terrifying, predatory instinct for corporate vulnerability. He noticed a bankrupt French industrial conglomerate called Vuitton. Vuitton was a decaying empire, bleeding millions of dollars every month. Hidden deep inside this rotting corporate carcass was one priceless jewel. It was a legendary fashion house called Christian Dior. Arnault approached the French government with a solemn promise. He swore he would invest his family's wealth to revive Vuitton and protect thousands of jobs. The gullible government believed him, handing him the massive company for practically nothing. But the very moment the ink dried, the wolf threw off his disguise. Arnault immediately reneged on every single promise he had made. He fired 9,000 workers overnight and ruthlessly carved up the company. He liquidated the entire empire, keeping only one single asset for himself. He kept Christian Dior. He had acquired one of the most prestigious luxury brands in history for pennies on the dollar. This brutal liquidation became his signature corporate strategy. Arnault realized a dark truth about the luxury industry that Wall Street had missed. Most historic luxury brands were fragile, family-owned businesses run by aging heirs. They were brilliant at making beautiful goods, but utterly defenseless against a modern financial predator. His next target was the absolute crown jewel of France, Louis Vuitton. In 1987, Louis Vuitton and Moet Hennessy merged to form LVMH. Almost immediately, the alliance devolved into a toxic civil war. The CEO of Louis Vuitton, Henri Racamier, made a fatal, tragic mistake. He invited Bernard Arnault to buy a stake in LVMH as a friendly ally to crush his rivals. In reality, he had invited a starving wolf straight into his own home. Arnault secretly allied himself with Guinness to buy up massive chunks of LVMH stock. He systematically exploited the egos and mutual hatred of the warring executives. Once Arnault had accumulated enough voting rights, he struck with lethal precision. He turned on Henri Racamier, the very man who had invited him in. Arnault launched a hostile boardroom coup, voting the founding families out of their own empire. He crowned himself the absolute, undisputed CEO of LVMH. This corporate bloodbath shocked the polite society of European business. Never before had anyone used such aggressive, hostile raiding in the elegant world of fashion. Armed with the massive cash flow of Louis Vuitton, Arnault began hunting across the globe. If a family-owned brand had even a single crack in its foundation, Arnault was there to shatter it. He bought Givenchy, Celine, Sephora, Fendi, and Bulgari. He later executed the largest acquisition in luxury history, buying Tiffany & Company for $16 billion. Today, he controls over 75 historic brands, rolled up into an $800 billion empire. But his path to global domination was not without resistance. In 1999, Arnault set his sights on his fiercest Italian rival, Gucci. Using a strategy known as a creeping takeover, Arnault secretly bought a 34% stake in Gucci. He attempted to force his way onto the board from the inside. But the CEO of Gucci and designer Tom Ford refused to be slaughtered. They launched an all-out, bitter corporate war that the media dubbed the Gucci War. Gucci's board fought back aggressively by intentionally diluting Arnault's voting power. They then allied themselves with Arnault's arch-nemesis, French billionaire François Pinault. After years of vicious lawsuits and millions spent on lawyers, Arnault was defeated. He was forced to back down and sell his shares. It was a rare, humiliating defeat for the wolf, but his most controversial and predatory attack was yet to come. In 2010, Arnault launched a financial invasion of the most sacred house in fashion, Hermès. He knew the proud Hermès family would never willingly sell their shares to a corporate raider. So, LVMH secretly used complex financial derivatives, routed through foreign tax havens. These obscure instruments allowed Arnault to accumulate a massive 23% stake in Hermès. He did this entirely in the shadows, without triggering public disclosure laws. When the Hermès family realized the wolf was inside their gates, they reacted with fury. Over 50 descendants of the founder locked their shares into an unbreakable holding company to freeze Arnault out. The French financial regulator eventually fined LVMH millions of dollars for their deceptive market tactics. Once again, Arnault was forced to retreat, but his underlying message was crystal clear. No one, no matter how historic or powerful, was safe from his hunger. And here is the most terrifying part of Bernard Arnault's entire empire. When he buys these historic family brands, he always keeps the original names on the door. He meticulously preserves the romantic illusion of the independent artisan. He knows that if consumers realized their products were just from a corporate conglomerate, the magic would die. The magic of luxury is built entirely on the illusion of exclusivity and heritage. So he sells you the romantic story of family tradition, an uncompromised artistic passion. But in reality, the entire operation is run by a centralized, hyper-efficient corporate machine. A machine perfectly designed to extract maximum wealth from the global middle class. Bernard Arnault did not invent the concept of luxury. He has never designed a handbag or sewn a couture dress. But he understood that in modern global capitalism, the artist does not win. The person who owns the system wins. He conquered an industry built on beauty and romance, with absolute, cold-blooded financial violence. He is the wolf in Cashmere, and he owns the very illusion you are buying.
Tap to subscribe. Watch more untold stories next.